Hello and welcome to the Necromundown Review, where we talk about new things coming out for Necromunda. Today, it's the Claim Jumper, everyone's favorite and only squat hanger-on.
For the dwarf.
For these Ironhead Squat Prospectors, specifically.
Yeah.
So, this was released a couple weeks ago now, but we had to wait to get it in the mail. It's Forge World only, it is resin.
And the reason this is a big deal is because the rules aren't out in any books yet.
Right. The only way to get the rules currently is to order the figure. Luckily, we did that, so we have the rules, which we'll put on the screen right now to show you. So, the Claim Jumper, he costs 60 credits. He is a hanger-on, not a brute.
Right.
Remember, with the updated rules to Necromunda now, you can start a campaign with a hanger-on or a brute, because it costs 1 rep, and you start with 1 rep. So, you can have this guy from the beginning.
I was going to say, or you could hire him as the house patronage, where you couldn't do that before.
Yes, you can. That's correct. So basically, you can start the campaign with this guy.
Yep.
He costs 60 credits, and for 60 credits, you get a fairly decent profile, and also a fairly decent, if rarely used, special rule.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the special rule first, because as a hanger-on, I feel like that's his bigger appeal.
Okay.
Technically, he's got 2 of them, because it's the Claim Jumper and his Techmite Autoveyor, his little robot buddy. GW is kind of on a roll with little buddies recently. The Gargolians from Cities of Sigmar, the little robot from this guy, the little familiar from your Chaos cults.
They've been doing a lot of them. It's since Krabnos.
They've realized making fun little buddies is the key to success.
Yeah.
So his is the Techmite Autoveyor. The Techmite doesn't have really its own thing. Like,
no.
It can go into combat, but you don't want to.
Yeah, it has Strength 3, AP 1, 1 damage weapon with no traits.
Right. But its main thing is it has tech bypass, which is basically it gets to open a loot crate without having to roll for it. It just bypasses it.
Sure.
And then you can re-roll the dice when you roll for what you get in the loot casket.
Right. Which can be fantastic, depending on what you roll. And I should know, because in 4 games in a row, I opened a loot casket and exploded on me.
Yep, remember when you open a loot casket on a 1, it's a frag grenade that immediately goes off and blows up in your face.
Yeah.
On a 2 through a 5, it's a paltry amount of credits.
Yeah, it's like D6.
It is literally D6 credits.
Yeah.
And then on a 6, it becomes, or on a...
I think it's a 5 or a 6.
5 or 6, it becomes an ammo crate. That's pretty decent. It's not going to get you a lot of credits.
No.
But what might get you a lot of credits is his Claim Jump special rule.
Okay.
During the post-battle sequence, the fighter may perform the Claim Jump post-battle action. Roll a d6. On a result of 5 up, choose a territory controlled by your opponent. Immediately gain boons from that territory. So, there's a couple of questions I have.
Yeah.
Does that stop your opponent from getting the boon? It does not say it does.
I don't think so. I think you get it as though you also had it.
Right. So it doesn't screw over your opponent.
Right.
2, it only works on the opponent you're actually facing at this point. Right. So depending on who you're facing, that can be good or bad. And a 5 and a d6, that's once every 3 games.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
That being said, we are currently right now playing Vaults of Temenos, and I have a territory that gives me, I think, 3d6 times 10 credits.
Yep, the Majoris ones give 3d6 times 10.
That's, if you roll that.
Yep. He basically pays for himself the first time.
Yes.
You roll that.
Yeah. He can pay for himself pretty darn quickly, is what we're getting at. But his other special rule is called Part of the Crew, which normally when you bring hangers on, you roll the dice for each one. And on a 1 or a 3, they have to take part in the battle.
Yeah.
And on a 4, 5, 6, they're fine.
Yeah, if you're the home turf advantage, like it's supposed to be a negative so that you have to bring your bad hanger-on just in case.
Because most hangers-on are not very good in combat.
Right.
Ammo jacks are decent.
I was going to say there are a few exceptions like ammo jacks.
But usually, like your rogue doc, you don't want to actually fight because he'll get killed.
Yep.
He does have some doc skills, but generally he'll just get shot. The Claim Jumper is always just considered part of your crew.
Right.
So in that respect, he's kind of like a brute.
Right. But he's not a brute because he can't, gain experience?
Yep. So he still has all the normal rules of hangers-on, which is no experience. If you get seriously injured, you have to rehire him. All that good stuff. But he is always available to be taken, which means if you're doing random crew selection, he's always an option to be taken.
Yep.
And if you want to take him, you always can. Which brings us to his actual stats. Because unlike a lot of hangers-on, there's actually a good chance you're going to be fighting with this guy.
Yeah.
So he has what I would call a standard squat profile.
Yep.
4-inch movement, toughness 4. He does have 2 attacks, and he does have a 4-up initiative.
Yeah, which is strange.
For a squat, that's good. Most squats are 5s.
Mm-hmm.
He does also have weapon skill 3-up, ballistic skill 4-up.
Yeah.
And you'll see from his weapon choices, he is definitely a melee person, not a ranged person.
Yeah.
And then his mental stats are 6s across the board, except for leadership 7, which will never come up with him.
He has intelligence 5.
Oh, he has intelligence 5? Oh, he does.
Which will also never come up because it's not cool.
No, it not. His skills are fearsome, which fearsome is you have to pass a willpower check to charge him.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Pretty legit.
And Iron Jaw.
Which just recently got updated.
And is still terrible.
It's less terrible now.
It's less terrible. We covered that in our book review, link up above. Remember that Iron Jaw now, against AP 0 weapons, increases your toughness by 2.
Yep. So he's toughness 6 against AP 0.
In the start of a campaign, that is pretty darn relevant, because that means las guns are wounding him on 6s.
Yep. I would rather hire him than a ganger in most aspects.
And that's that. Yeah. So he's only 60 credits, which I think is like, what, 10 credits more than your average ganger?
I think, yeah.
In squats?
Just about.
Now, he can't ever advance or get better. You can't equip him with his own gear.
Right.
Let's talk about his gear. He comes with his little buddy, his exotic beast. It has all the normal rules of an exotic beast.
Right.
He also comes with mesh armor, and that's it.
Yep. So
for
he
armor.
Only has a 5-up armor.
Which is not particularly great.
No. Especially not later in a campaign.
Right. But for weapons, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
He has an Ironhead auto pistol, which is just an auto pistol with rapid fire 2 instead of 1. You know, and that's good. Hits on 4s, though.
Yeah.
But for melee, he's got a power fist, a power pack.
Power pick.
Power pick. Sorry, power pick, power fist, and a vein extractor, which is attached to the power pack.
Gem extractor.
Gem extractor, sorry. Which is attached to your power pack, which means you get to make another attack with it.
Yep. So you get the pick and the fist as dual wielding, and you get the extra attack from the gem extractor.
Which means you'll always have 3 attacks. 4 attacks.
So yeah, 2 base, +1 for dual wielding, +1 for the gem extractor, +1 if you charge.
Right.
That's really good.
That's a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
At the beginning of a campaign, a power fist is terrifying.
Oh yeah, horrifying.
Power fists, if you're not familiar, strength +2, AP -2, 2 damage. The power pick is only strength +1, but it's AP 3, 1 damage.
Yeah, so there's a trade-off there.
Both of them have pulverize. And the power keyword, which means they cannot be parried except by other powered weapons.
And if you roll a 6 to hit, no armor save and +1 damage.
Right.
So good.
This guy at the beginning of a campaign especially is terrifying in melee.
And the gem extractor is also pretty good.
Yeah.
+1 strength, -1 AP, and 2 damage on that as well. I like it.
Yeah, that's really good. Like, at the start of a campaign, it's hard to charge him because you need to pass a willpower roll. And if he charges you, he will mess you up.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that I could see you hiring early and then getting rid of later.
I honestly would just hire him early and then get more rep and hire someone else.
Sure.
Even in the later stages of campaign, he's going to fall off defensively because he only has mesh and you can't ever put anything else on him. But I think offensively, a power fist and a power pick hitting on 3s is going to stay relevant for the entire campaign.
That's true. My only problem with him, and we've talked about this, is he only has 1 wound.
He does only have 1 wound.
Which is the real downside.
Between that and the armor save, he's not a defensive powerhouse. No. He's not actually hard to kill. Besides having toughness 4 innate, because squats all have toughness 4.
Right.
Which is very, again, at the beginning of a campaign, very good. I agree with you, I could see getting rid of him.
Because fearsome and Iron Jaw and the fact that he has low armor all get worse the further the campaign becomes.
Fearsome doesn't matter. No one puts points into willpower, Mitchell.
But you could.
But you won't.
But you could. I'm just saying.
You will, because you're going to desperately try and get your Goliath Psyker to suck a little bit less.
Hey, she got her 1 power off.
And won't again.
So,
overall, I think this is a really good hanger.
Yeah, I think it's great.
This is the first unique squats one. It does something that squats don't necessarily do well, which is melee.
That's debatable, but okay.
Your squat leader is a good melee model.
Yes, that's true.
Your squat champions are definitely more range-based. Squats in general benefit more from range due to rapid fire too on all their stuff.
Like just getting +1 rapid fire on every weapon they have is...
Their thing is lots of bullets, not necessarily lots of punches.
You're right.
This guy punches hard and gets you credits. The credits are a little random for my taste.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
only happening on a 5-up.
Who is he competing with hanger-on wise? He's competing with someone like the... I was going to say prize fighter, but that's Orlok only. Mm-hmm. Who else? An ammo jack or rogue doc?
An ammo jack or rogue doc. The rogue doc saves you money, but it's also a chance for it to happen.
And I think the rogue doc stock has gone down a lot now that the injury table is not nearly as lethal.
That's true.
Going to the dock is not nearly as scary or is nearly as often a prospect.
That's true.
The ammo jack is still very much your mileage may vary. That depends a lot on what weapons you're using.
Yep. Really, really good if you're like Van Saar and you shoot your weapons all the time, especially with scarce weapons.
Very good with Orlok, who don't have a weapon, that's better than a 4-up ammo check.
Right. But like if you're, Corpse Grinder Cults or Escher and you have all your daggers and stuff like that, or 2-ups, way less relevant.
Yeah. I think in general the reason I like him so much is that he is a hybrid between a brute and a hanger-on. Mm-hmm. He has the benefits of a hanger-on, but can fight like a very, very, very cheap brute.
That's fair. The one that I was actually going to compare him to was what is it called? The Whisper Agent?
Yes.
The one that's in the Deloc book, but anybody can hire them. You get to, I think it's 4 times?
He is 60 credits.
He has 60 credits.
And you get to basically fix 4 dice post-campaign for any one of the roles you might do.
And it's like for the number of guys you get, for the credits you get from your territory, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think on a purely like gaining a money perspective, that one's probably better.
The Whisper Agent doesn't punch in combat, though.
Oh, no, the Whisper Agent has like nothing. But this guy is kind of the hybrid. I can see him definitely being a good take.
Yeah. It's going to go a lot on how often you roll that 5-up, I think, because you could never roll it.
That was bad.
Overall, I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Usual downsides, Forge rolled only, but if you're playing Necromunda, you're used to that.
He's actually surprisingly cheap for a Forge rolled model.
It's 35, right?
Yeah, he's $36 for 2 Forge rolled models, which is, unheard of.
And the rule of Games Workshop, that's a savings.
That's a deal.
It's a value. That being said, incredibly easy to convert this guy.
Oh, yeah. You just need a little robo friend.
You need a dwarf with a fist and a power pick.
Yeah.
And a little power pack.
That just comes in the dwarf kit.
Yeah, you could make this guy incredibly easily if you wanted to run him. And I think if you're playing Squat Prospectors, you should seriously look at this guy being your first hanger on.
And what about the little robo guy and the Breachers kit?
Yep, the little Breachers kit, the one from the Kill Team box they came in. Mm-hmm. Lots of little robot guys you could have.
So yeah, this guy is not necessarily Forge World exclusive if you don't want him to be. But other than that, he's great.
Yep.
Even as a dwarf hater, I think he's pretty good. A little disappointed. He can only be used in squats, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, I'm just asking questions. It's fine.
Trying to steal the dwarf stuff. You don't even like him. You're trying to steal their stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's shameful.
It is.
But would it also be shameful to not leave us a comment telling us how much you like or hate this dwarf? And equally shameful not to leave a like if you like this. If you didn't like it, leave a like anyway.
Yeah.
To let us know we're being shameful.
Yeah. It's opposite day for the people that didn't like this, so you should like it to show us that you dislike it.
We've only made that joke like 6 times. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Until next time.